It seems actually that writing is not just, you know, a kind of something that you wanted to do. It's actually a generic talent, because this book is only here because of your mother's writing, really, isn't it?
Well, I suppose. Or, I mean, when I'm in the middle of this, and when my mother very sadly died, and when we came across the diaries and the letters, I suppose the diary itself, actually, it's written by my aunt. And my aunt, after I went to Germany, left Germany after the war, came to Scotland. Her sister went to Argentina, and she was very unhappy in Argentina. And she had a diary, and she typed out her diary and sent sections of it to my mother in letters, and said to my mother, "Oh, you know, do you remember this? Do you remember that?" You know, and she wanted to talk desperately about all the things that happened to her. And most of the letters, in fact, are from other people, but they're also, she sent my mother back her letters as well. So we have this mixture of writing and wanting to tell, I suppose, a history.
And perhaps we should explain at this stage that the family in the book comprises 3 girls and 2 boys within the family, but your mother's original family was much bigger than that.
Yeah.
She was one of 10, is that right? Yeah. So you had to kind of distill the writing down a little, or distill the characters down.
I think what I found after, when I came across the letters and diaries, and my father asked me to translate them for him, so I had all this information about my mother and her family from the diaries and the letters, and about that time. And I was appalled at my ignorance, and so I felt very strongly I wanted to write about Mum's story and her family story, but also about other people's stories, other Silesians, in fact. This is about a German from Silesia. And then I thought, well, I was going to originally write a biography based on the letters and research it, and then I actually found that very difficult. I found it difficult, first of all, just to write a biography of my mother. I felt uncomfortable doing a straight biography. And then I felt that there were other things that happened to other people that I wanted to include in my story. And then also, there are gaps in the diaries and the letters. You know, sometimes they jump 2 years, sometimes there's lots of information about certain brothers and sisters, and there's not very much about another. And I really struggled when I sat down to write it. And then I had an epiphany that, well, it doesn't have to be a biography. Why does it have to be a biography? Why do I have to stick to the absolute facts? And some of the facts I don't even know, where there's a gap in the information. So I guess, having done the research, then I thought, well, I think this could have happened and that could have happened. And to make it easy, to make it manageable, then I create a composite family. Yeah. So first of all, to give me distance from my mother, but also not to make too much distance, so that I can still write about it and feel strongly about it in a passionate way.